Hello, in this video I'll be showing you exactly how you can trade the smart money order block, and how in this episode I'll be breaking it down for you how you can identify the smart money order block and how you can find your entry trading the smart money order block. Remember, everything about trading has to do with first identifying the structure of the market. Why is it important for you to know the structure? Because you are not the smart money traders, you are not the market movers, and as such, you will need to go in the direction of the institution. You and I cannot move markets, and therefore we need to leverage on the advantage of these people that has the capacity to move the market. And if we must be able to leverage on them, we must be able to understand how they move, how they make their movement when it comes to price scenario. We must know when they are buying for us to buy and know when they are selling for us to sell. So the major factor that will help us to determine either to buy or to sell, the first is for us to determine the trend. Now, when you have finished determining the trend, is to first of all know what the trend is. Now, after you have determined the trend, the second thing you need to determine, now that you know when to buy or when to sell, no, now that you know that it is a buying or a selling direction, what to do, the next question is where to buy. From where do I begin to buy from? And then from where do I begin to sell? And that is what brings about the POI, which is our point of interest. So it is at this point of interest that you'll be buying and selling. Now, when price is back to your point of interest, what else do you need? What then is my entry confirmation? What do I use to trigger my buy entry? What tells me that now I can buy? What tells me that now I can sell? Alright, so which is now what will lead to our what? Entry confirmation. So this is what I'll be explaining for you in a simple terms in this video within the possible time that we have. So I'll be going straight into all of this that I've just said now. We'll now begin with identifying what the trend of the market is. Now, looking at this price scenario, if you are not a beginner, by now you are conversant with what we known as the trend. So there are several ways you can do this, right? Now, if I should put up my trend line, you'll realize that price is actually in an uptrend. Because looking at this, price is moving in a slant direction. You can see this. So this is how price is moving in this zone. So with this price movement, we can now determine that we are in an uptrend. So you are a structure, you know how to identify your structural point very well. You realize that here, this is a higher low, this is a higher high, this is a higher low, this is a higher high, and then here we have another higher low, we have a higher high, and then we have this higher low which was later compromised. So now here is no longer a higher low, but here is our higher low, and then we are looking forward to a new higher high. So this is a daily time frame. The structure is bullish. Having identified this, in this video we are looking at only how to trade the smart money order block. So this order block are the institutional candle. So what is an order block? A bullish order block is the last bullish candle before the bearish move. That last bullish candle that you see on your chart before that bearish move is what we refer to as a bullish order block. So in this scenario, we have identified that price is in an uptrend. So the only other block we'll be looking at is the bullish order block. So in this uptrend, our attention is on bullish order block. So look at it. This particular candle you are seeing, this last bearish candle here, before this price pull to this upside, is what we refer to as a bullish order block. Is the last bearish candle before this bullish move. So in an uptrend, we'll be trading our bullish order block. So that is exactly how you can do that. So you can watch previous videos on this channel as well, where we discussed about order block, how to identify and how to trade it. So here again we have another bullish order block. Okay, so this is how we keep moving progressively in this trade. And then here is another bullish order block. Look at this. So this is another bullish order block. So you can see that order block there. This is the present and the recent. This is the previous one. And then this particular one now, that price is on, is our present order block. That is the bullish order block I am referring to right now. Sorry about that. Trying to get things right. Alright, so this is the bullish order block that we are referring to. That last bearish candle before that move. So you can see how price actually plays out around it. That is it. And then look at what happened. Price. So when you mark your order block like this, and you know that you are in an uptrend, you will be patient for price to return back into this order block in order for you to make your entry. So we've done this on a 1 hour. We'll now move to our 4-hour time frame. So remember, we have determined the trend. Secondly, we have determined our point of interest. And for this video, our point of interest is centered only on order block. And because this is an uptrend, we consider only the bullish order block. So had it been it is a downtrend, we would have go with a bearish order block. So now let's move down to our 4-hour time frame and see what we have. Great. So look at this. This particular order block that you are seeing on the daily time frame is what we are having on this. So all of this markup you are seeing falls into the daily 1-hour candle. You can see that it falls into the daily 1-hour candle. So how do we make our entry? If you are making this entry on a 1-hour time frame or 4-hour time frame, you will need a candlestick formation, which is either a bullish candlestick or a pin bar. And look at this entry here now. Let me confirm to you how this entry, if you were here earlier, this could have been your first entry. You would have bought from here. Of course, your stop loss was meant to be here, which is very high, but however, your take profit should have been here, and this would have hit your take profit. So that should have been your first trade. And then afterwards, price return back again. This is the zone. We are still in the zone. This is a 4-hour time frame. Price return, tap into it, give us an evening star candle, a morning star candle formation, and then we'll have this engulfing candle, and then price ball. However, this is a 4-hour time frame. Your stop loss will be too big. So let's move to our 1-hour time frame. Now here would have been your entry. Remember, I always keep saying that provided you are trading in line with the trend, provided you are trading in line with the trend, always look for divergence. Any divergence that presents itself in your point of interest, and in line with the trend is 80 to 90% effective. And let me show you, when price return into this point of interest, this is a divergence. Price gave us that beautiful divergence, and from that divergence, look at what we have. This is a divergence, and after that we have our candlesticks formations in that zone, and then you can see how price plays out massively from that zone. For further confirmation, you can as well use your trend line to see. This is your trend line. Price break out of that your trend line, and of course price break out of it. This is a retest, and then you can see how price keep pushing back to the upside, and that is exactly how you can make your entry. How come am I having this entry now? If I've missed all of this entry here, I make my entry based on a chart pattern, and this chart pattern I use is my bullish flag pattern. And here is the bullish flag pattern. I was patient enough for price to break out of the flag. The bullish flag pattern is a buy continuation pattern. So here we are, and then price break out of it, and then I make my entry. And you can see how this is playing out beautifully well. Now this strategy is applicable to anything that has to do with candlestick, be it gold, be it Bitcoin, be it currency pair, whatever asset, you can apply this strategy on. And I advise also that you watch previous video for clarity and more understanding on order block. So we are dealing in this series with the smart money concept. So in the next series, we'll be looking at a brief recap of the order block, and then we'll proceed to the next smart money concept, which is the fair value gap. Others call it imbalance. You can as well call it improper price action. What are you waiting for? If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do well. Hit the subscribe button and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to get notified when we upload our next video. And you can do well to share with your friends so they can benefit and also make progress in their trading career. Thank you for watching, and see you in the subsequent video.